Today we're going to talk about some business principles that we like to call business by the book. And the book that I'm referring to is the Bible, which is actually 66 books that comprise what we call the Christian Bible today. And so there are a lot of principles contained in that book that is relevant to the way we handle our finances, the way we conduct our business, and the way that we are good stewards over that which God has entrusted to us. So let's talk a little bit about that today. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome. Today we're talking about doing business by the book, following sound financial principles from the Bible. Now, as we think about the introduction for this week's discussion, we're going to talk about the importance of ethics and principles in business. And we're going to see that the Bible is a timeless guide for wisdom, stewardship, and integrity in financial matters. And we're also going to talk about the purpose of applying biblical principles to modern business. Now, the first point, as I give you the outline for today's teaching, you can make notes of this, or you can contact me to get a copy of the outline for your own personal study. We're going to talk about the core biblical financial principles for business, which is honesty and integrity, diligence and hard work, stewardship and accountability, avoiding debt and practicing contentment, generosity and fairness, planning and vision. We'll talk about next section is the benefits of doing business by the book. Then we'll talk about some challenges and commitment, and then we'll discuss the conclusion. So let's get into this week's discussion, which is doing business by the book, following sound financial principles from the Bible. Now, in today's fast-paced and competitive world, business leaders are often pressured to prioritize profit over principle. Yet history and experience show that success built on shortcuts, dishonesty, or reckless spending rarely lasts. For those seeking a firm foundation, the Bible offers timeless wisdom for conducting business with integrity, stewardship, and vision. Doing business by the book, as we talk about, is more than just a moral choice. It is a strategy for long-term prosperity and peace of mind. Let's talk about honesty and integrity. You see, trust is the currency of any successful enterprise. And in Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1, it declares, "A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight." This ancient principle applies directly to modern transactions, whether through transparent pricing, honest contracts, or ethical marketing. Integrity ensures that relationships with customers, employees, and partners are built on a foundation that cannot be bought or faked. The next point we want to talk about is diligence and hard work. Now, the Bible commends diligence and skill, promising reward for excellence. Take a look at Proverbs chapter 22, verse 29, and we will observe this statement. "Do you see a man skilled in his business? He will serve before kings." You see, hard work, innovation, and consistent performance opens doors to opportunities of influence. In business, cutting corners may bring temporary gain, but it's diligence and discipline that secures your long-term growth. The next thing we'll talk about is stewardship and accountability. We see in the parable of the talents in Matthew chapter 25, verses 14 through 30, where Jesus highlights the importance of managing wisely what has been entrusted to us. Business owners are stewards of resources, of time, money, people, and opportunities. Effective stewardship means budgeting carefully, reinvesting profits, and seeking sustainable growth. A faithful steward multiplies what has been entrusted and is accountable for both success and failure. The next point we want to talk about is avoiding debt and practicing contentment. Financial bondage can cripple a business. Romans 13:8 advises, "No man anything except to love each other." Now, while some debt may be strategic, reckless borrowing leads to stress and instability. Practicing contentment and growing within one's means a business to flourish without being weighed down by unnecessary obligations. The next thing we'll talk about is generosity and fairness. God's financial system is not about hoarding wealth, but sharing it. We see in Luke chapter 6, verse 38 teaches, "Give and it shall be given to you." Fair wages, community investment, and generosity foster loyalty and goodwill. Businesses that give back often find that generosity opens unexpected doors of favor and blessing. Now let's talk about planning and vision. The Bible also emphasizes foresight. The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance. You'll see that in Proverbs 21:5. Understand that strategic planning, budgeting, and vision casting are essential for growth. Just as a builder counts the costs before starting construction, a business leader must plan wisely before expanding or taking risk. Now let's talk about the rewards of biblical business. When a business aligns with biblical principles, the benefits expand far beyond profit. A reputation for honesty attracts customers. Fairness inspires loyalty in employees. Wise stewardship creates stability and resilience. And most importantly, business becomes a means of glorifying God and serving others. So in conclusion, I want you to know that doing business by the book is not an old-fashioned thing. It is revolutionary. In a world driven by greed and shortcuts, those who follow God's principles stand out with integrity, wisdom, and generosity. The Bible offers a blueprint not only for spiritual life, but also for financial success. And businesses that honor God prosper in ways that money alone cannot measure. So I certainly hope that you will apply these principles to your own principles of doing business, that you do it with honesty and integrity, that you will have diligence and hard work, stewardship and accountability, that you will avoid debt and practice contentment. Generosity and fairness should be practiced. You must have good planning, vision in order to do business by the book. May God bless and prosper your path. If you'd like more information about this study, feel free to reach out to me and we'll get some resources into your hand in order to cause you to prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers, because God rejoices in the prosperity of his servants. God bless you.